Hey everyone, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in to Relevant Jukebox, and today we're going to talk about the newest album from Eartheater, Phoenix, Flames Are Dew Upon My Skin. So this is the fourth studio full-length album from the singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist Alexandra Druchin, aka Eartheater, and this album did come pretty highly suggested to me, so I did decide to check it out, even though I wasn't too well versed in her back catalog. I mean, if you take a look at the album cover, you might think you're in store for some colorful bangers or an experimental R&B album or something, and that couldn't be further from the case really with Eartheater, as this is more of a low-key, subtle art pop release. And it kind of comes off to me like a combination of the singer-songwriter Emily Yasina mixed with a lot of the stranger production choices on FKA Twigs' latest album Magdalene. Now, I really like the atmosphere on this album. It is extremely dreamy, and a lot of the pianos on here are super lush and beautiful, and occasionally there are bits of instrumentation that are added in that make things a little weird or strange. And she does have a pretty beautiful voice as well. It's very ghostly and it fits over these instrumentals. However, the songwriting on this LP over here is just too inconsistent, honestly, with some of these tracks just spread so thin and weak that, you know, they're just extremely forgettable, don't really leave much of an impact on me, unfortunately. Like Mercurial Nerve, which is extremely forgettable, and also the opening cut, Airborne Ashes. I mean, I can't really recall much of anything from that track. Probably could have just been left on the cutting room floor, in my opinion. And that's followed by an instrumental cut, Metallic Taste of Patience, which on its own is an absolutely gorgeous instrumental piece. However, I mean, having it so far up in the track length just kind of feels out of place of sorts and doesn't really reinforce anything else that's happening around it. And I mean, there are multiple instrumental detours on this record that are on the briefer side of things that, again, don't really reinforce anything else that's going on. I will say some of the most strange and interesting production choices land on these cuts, like Burning Feather, Kiss of the Phoenix, or Goodbye Diamond. I mean, at times I'm kind of reminded of One Tricks Point Never. I just wish that they weren't left to be these instrumental detours though, and that they were built out into more full tracks. Now, don't get me wrong, there were some standouts on here that were more of slow burners that I enjoyed quite a bit, like Below the Clavicle, which is the first point on the record that stopped me in my tracks. Absolutely stunning instrumental on this one with tons of layers of strings, and there's a standout refrain that's pretty odd, but the catchiest on the whole album in my opinion. Also, the track How to Fight is a good example of some of these more ethereal art pop ballads working in with that stranger instrumentation for a more holistic experience. There are these really almost squeaky samples that are woven in that are pretty strange, and there's a really vast atmosphere that's cast out on the chorus with all of those rumbling bass hits. And I also like the track Volcano quite a bit. The piano line that rolls in is absolutely beautiful, and it captures my attention immediately, even though the rest of the track really isn't as strong. But yeah, I mean, overall, I like a lot of the qualities of this album. It is a bit one note, honestly, and a lot of the guitar work on here really isn't that interesting. And I guess I was just left wanting a lot of those strange production quirks that show up in those instrumental detours in those ethereal ballads to make everything come together more full circle. Still, I would suggest checking this out because I do think this will catch the ears of some listeners, even though I didn't enjoy it as much. And with that being said, I'm feeling a 6.5 over here on this Eartheater album. So there are actually a few different variants of this floating around on vinyl. There was a neon orange limited release through Bleep that looks like it's sold out by now. They still have a transparent red version up for sale, and when that sells out, there's standard black. So I have links down below in my description box if you guys want to buy this. And if you have listened to this new Eartheater album already, what did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and share. And if you want more content from me, hit that subscribe button. Peace.